Hey guys, and welcome to another Warhammer 40K battle report. This time I'm not playing Liam. I am playing a guy I met at a gaming club I went to recently called the Pheonix Gaming Club, and I played a guy called Aron who played Necrons. And if Aron's listening, thanks very much again for hosting me, and it was a great night. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. It was a gaming club that I live nearby, so I thought I'll give it a go. And someone I work with also works there, who has his own YouTube channel, so I've got to give him a shout out. It's Paul, and his YouTube channel is Dice to See You Dice. I don't have a cold. That's exactly as it sounds. But I'll put a link in below, and give him a visit. So yeah, I played Aron, and Aron played Necrons. So we agreed a 1,000 point game. So I was going to play my Blood Angels, and Aron's list basically had a Destroyer Lord. He didn't have a Resurrection Orb. You have to forgive me, I can't remember exactly what he had, but it was 1,000 points. So he had a Destroyer Lord, which was his Warlord. He had Anrakir the Traveller, I think I'm pronouncing that correct. He had 10 Leech Guard. They had the Hyperphase Swords and Dispersion Shields. He had 3 troops, which meant he had a battalion detachment. He had 2 units of 5 Immortals. 1 unit had Gauss blasters, and the other had Tesla carbines. And then he had 10 Necron warriors. I think they're all with Gauss flayers. And then he had a 5 base unit of Scarabs. So that came to 1,000 points. And to fight that, I was testing a list I'm going to be using this weekend against Liam and Ryan. So we're having another couple of battles this weekend, so they'll be up probably next week after, something like that. So the list I brought was another battalion detachment. So I had Captain Slam, I had a Primaris Lieutenant with Power Sword, I had 2 units of tactical squads, 5-man, with bolters and 1 plasma gun each, and then I had a scout squad with camo cloaks, sniper rifles and a heavy bolter. I had a sanguinary guard unit of 4-man, 3 encarmine swords and a power fist. I had, crikey, what did I have? I had a Bile Predator, twin-linked assault cannons, heavy bolter and storm bolter on top. And I had a Razorback with twin-linked las cannons. And finally I had a land speeder with multi-melter and assault cannon. So we rolled off, and basically we played on a 4x4 map. So we played on a 4x4 map. So all the mats and the terrains supplied by the gaming club, and it was only like £2.50. If you do want to join the gaming club, it's the Pheonix Gaming Club, and it's based in Rushden in the Scout Club, which apparently is behind Orbit Tyres. So if you pop in there, they're more than welcome in. They're a fantastic group, and I'm sure they'll love to play some new people. So yeah, pop in. So you can see from the battle that we had basically we had a 4x4 table, and we were playing a retrieval mission. So there was 4 objectives. There was one on the building on the right hand side where the Necrons are deployed, just on the other side of that. There was one in that tower in the middle. There was another one on top of the small building in the middle of my deployment zone. And then there was another on the ruins at the top of the image there, kind of just near that dice around there. So yeah, we had the Spearhead Assault deployment, I think Aron chose. So basically it's those 2 little arrow formations 9 inches apart from the centre, going back towards your deployment edges. I deployed first, and ended up I think with me deploying last as well. So in the end I think Aron chose to go first. I did try and steal the initiative, but never works out. So we moved off, and Aron took the first turn. So Aron's deployment was basically he put his 10 Leech Guard straight at the point of his spear point, and then he had his Immortals on his left flank with his Necron Warriors on the right flank. I think in the Necron Warriors his Destroyer Lord was hidden in there, and his Anrakir the Traveller was near the Immortals. So in response to that, I had kind of took up a bit of a defensive position, So the two big tanks guard in the centre, with one of the tactical squads and the lieutenant near the objective in the building. I had the land speeder on my right flank and another unit of tactical squads on my left flank. And then just forward of my deployment zone, I had the scouts in the ruins overlooking the other objective. They weren't in claiming distance, but they were just kind of keeping an eye out and probably mainly there to kind of slow down Aron's force as it advanced towards me. Because at this point I was particularly terrified of those Leech Guard, which were, just scary as hell. So yeah, Aron took the first turn, and he moved forwards with the Leech Guard leading the way. Didn't really do much shooting, and he obviously wasn't in charge range, but he has a one-shot use, I think it's on Amrakar, which he used to shoot at the Predator. That gave the Predator 4 wounds, but apart from that I don't think there was too much else that he shot. I think he might have taken a couple of shots to the scouts, but didn't actually cause anything, because obviously with the camo cloaks the scouts are quite hard to shift. But yeah, he was just moving everything up. The Scarabs were moving quickly down that right flank, and the Leech Guard were just ploughing on towards my centre line. There were fantastically painted models as well, by the way. They were beautiful Necrons. Pleasure to play against Aron, and I'm hoping I'll play against him soon if he'll have me back. So yes, my turn. Basically I stood back, like I do. I moved the land speeder over towards the centre because I'm a bit wary that Amrakar was on the right flank, and he was heading towards me, and he has this thing that if he gets in within 12 inches of a vehicle on a 4+, I believe he can take over one of their weapons and shoot it, one of my models. So I was a bit wary of that, so I had to move the land speeder towards the centre with the tactical squad. I moved my other tactical squad on the left flank up towards the objective up there, and basically everything shot at the Leech Guard in the centre. And I managed to kill 4 of them, but obviously out of 10 that wasn't really enough, so there's still 6 left. So then going on to Aron's second round, and again everything moved forwards. Shooting was pretty ineffectual. I think he had a couple of pot shots at the scouts. Again, I don't think he killed anything. I don't think he actually caused any wounds this round, but I could be mistaken. I don't remember much going down on that round. The early rounds were kind of testing out each other's defences more than everything. I don't, because I've never played Necron. I've not played Necrons in a long time. Certainly not in this edition. And I think Aron hadn't played Blood Angels for a while, so we're kind of eyeing each other's forces up. But yeah, so going into my second round, and I kind of stuck where I was a little bit. But I did drop Captain Slam down near Amrakar, and I gave him Descent of Angels and I can't remember what it is, the one that gives D3 extra attacks. So I'd use a couple of them. I wanted to make sure that I could try and get in with Amrakar and try and nail him in that first round. And then I dropped the Sanguinary Guard behind the building in his deployment zone, just out of line of sight of the Immortals, so that they could, charge in there and chop them up. So the shooting phase came on again, and I shot everything again at the Leech Guard in the centre, and I think I killed maybe 2 more. I think it was 2 more Leech Guard, and so otherwise it was pretty ineffectual. Didn't kill anything else. I just focused on those Leech Guards. So I think they were down to 4 at this point. So I was feeling quite happy with that. Captain Slam managed his charge against Amrakar, and the Sanguinary Guard did pull off a nice big charge against the Immortals by that building. In the assault phase, Captain Slam managed to do, I think it was 3 wounds to Amrakar, so it wasn't exactly his normal result, but it was couldn't complain, it was alright. Yeah, and the Sanguinary Guard did 3 kills on those Immortals, so 3 of those died. Amrakar attacked back, and he did. Amrakar attacked back, and I think he caused a couple of wounds on Captain Slam. So that was my third turn. He'd moved up, so I think Aron was a little bit worried now at this point by Captain Slam and the Sanguinary Guard over there in the corner. So on his fourth turn, he kind of turned his Leech Guard around, and they started marching back towards Captain Slam and the Sanguinary Guard. The Scarabs came around that left-hand flank, and they were looking to try and munch through the Razorback, while the Necrons moved on. The Necron warriors on the left flank were moving on down, and they were just taking pot shots at the scouts and the ruins. The Immortals over on the right flank were kind of the ones near the Sanguinary Guard only had a couple left, so I wasn't too worried by them. But the other five were kind of plodding towards the main line of my defence. In his shooting phase, so Necron turned 3, and 2 Leech Guard regenerated. The Scarabs moved up on the left towards the Razorback, and the Leech Guard kind of decided to go back towards Anrakar and try and support him with Captain Slam. The Immortals kind of ran away from the Sanguinary Guard, which is perfectly reasonable considering they'd lost 3 of them. And eventually, I think the Leech Guard did actually get in range to charge Captain Slam as well. So they got in there, and they actually did 4 wounds on him. So he was I think he was down to 1 wound after that. The Scarabs charged at the Razorback, and they did 3 wounds, and they didn't do anything in return. So yeah, I mean, his Leech Guard did charge into Captain Slam, but even though the Sanguinary Guard weren't in combat anymore, they were kind of within that little zone of allowing them to pile in on the Leech Guard. So they got in there, and I think they did maybe 1 kill, but that was about it. They didn't do much at all, actually. So both Anrakar and Slam, after this little fight, were both down to 1 wound, and it was going into my turn 3, so I was a little bit concerned by it. So my turn 3, I retreated Captain Slam out of that combat and put him on the building near the objective in his deployment zone. So I retreated Captain Slam out of that combat and put him on the building in his deployment zone. My tactical squad, which had moved up towards the scouts, kind of turned around and charged into the Scarabs, which were threatening the Razorback, and then everything else just kind of was taking pot shots. There wasn't many kills. I don't think I killed anything. No, I did. The Landspeeder killed 2 more Immortals from that squad, so because 1 regenerated, so they were up to 3. The Landspeeder killed 2 more, bringing it down to 1. And the Razorback shot everything it had at the other Immortal squads, and that managed to clear them all off and gave me the first blood. So that one that was marching down the centre, the Razorback kind of just destroyed them. Going on to the assault phase, the fight phase, the Marines that charged the Scarabs managed to kill 1 in combat. Because I've charged his Scarabs, it meant that I couldn't use my Sanguinary Guard. He could interrupt and attack my Sanguinary Guard with his Leech Guard first, which actually meant he killed them, and I couldn't respond. So that was a bit of an error on my part. So instead of charging into the Scarabs, I should have let them try and chew through the Razorback. They weren't going to kill it. They did a few wounds on it, but they weren't going to kill it. So I should have not charged and kind of gone with the Sanguinary Guard first and tried to kill the last few Leech Guard, but instead, because of my charge into the Scarabs, he managed to get in this interrupt and kill the last of my Sanguinary Guard. So then going in his turn 4, what he actually did was his warriors then turned around and basically shot Captain Slam on the top of that building and removed his last wound, so it gave him the Warlord kill, which was really clever play by him, and I should have seen that coming. But yeah, that interrupt and then combined with a fire on the next turn, it just meant that it gave him an extra victory point. He was now controlling, I think he was controlling two objectives, while I was just controlling the 1. So at the minute he was leading. So going into my turn 4, and I retreated everything from the Scarabs, with the Marines going into the ruins with the scouts, and the Razorback moving back. He had killed a few scouts in the previous turn from shooting. I can't remember what shot them, so I apologise. But then I unloaded all my tactical squad fire and the Razorback for shooting at the Scarabs, and I think I managed to kill another 2. So he was down to 2 bases of Scarabs. So going into turn 5, and his warriors moved up into the middle to claim that middle objective. His Destroyer Lord moved up to the left-hand ruins, the right-hand ruins near the scouts to claim that other objective. And he moved 2 Immortals back towards the building to claim that third objective down there. And his Leech Guard kind of, came around the corner there and just kind of plodded back towards the Blood Angels. So I think in his shooting phase, he did shoot, but couldn't do much. I don't think he caused any wounds or did any kills. In the assault phase, his Scarabs charged at the Marines at the bottom of the ruins with the scouts and killed them all, which was good for him. But that meant the turn 5 was over. So as it stood at this point, he had 3 objectives and I had the 1, and I thought it was basically game over. I was very concerned at this point. It was a fantastic game. There'd been a lot of deaths, but it was, I think it was done and dusted for the Blood Angels. So in turn 5, I kind of just threw caution to the wind and moved the Speeder and the Predator forwards towards his front lines. And, focused a few fires. And, basically, the Predator shot everything at the Warriors. And so it had, I think, a total of 18 shots. So 12 assault cannon shots and then another 6 heavy bolter shots plus 4 storm bolter shots because it was in half range. And shot them all at the Warriors at that central objective and managed to kill every single one of them in one round of shooting, which was absolutely amazing for the Predator. I was really pleased with that. And then the Land Speeder, which had moved up alongside it, shot everything at the 2 Immortals that were holding the other objective in his backfield and managed to kill both of those as well. So he was down to 1 objective and 1 objective with me as well. There was no combat, so his Scarabs had already killed the Marines in the previous turn, so they weren't in combat at the minute. So going into, we rolled off to see if the game would go into another turn, which it did. And then in Necron at turn 6, his Leech Guard decided to charge into the Predator, and they did 5 wounds, and the Predator did nothing in return. The Scarabs charged into the scouts, the last scout on the building. They'd been whittled down by fire from the Warriors during the game, and they managed to kill that last scout in the building as well. And then he used his Traveller, which was now within 12 inches of the Predator, and he took control of the Predator's twin-linked assault cannon on the top and fired all of that at the Land Speeder, and managed to do 2 wounds on the Land Speeder. In the combat phase, he did 5 wounds on the Predator with his Leech Guard. So, he was looking really good there. On my turn 6, he'd kind of left my Speeder open. So what I did in the movement phase was I lifted the Speeder out of there and went to claim his back objective. The middle objective, where the tower is. So I just flew in there to claim that objective. So that meant I had 2 objectives to his 1 going into turn 6. And the Speeder shot at Anrakar but didn't really do any damage. And my Marines on the building kind of moved down and charged at the Scarabs while the Lieutenant claimed that objective on the building. And then that was it. There wasn't really any deaths after that. We rolled for the end of the turn and it popped up, so we weren't going to do any more. And in the end, it turned out that I'd had 2 objectives and he had 1. So that last round of shooting where the Predator killed the Warriors in the middle and the Land Speeder killing those last 2 Immortals on the backfield kind of gave me a lucky victory more than anything. So I felt really guilty after that because it played a fantastic game and it terrified me all game, and all I'd done was camp in my deployment zone. So I apologise, Aron. I don't know how to make it up to you. I'll play you again, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll take some drum pat troops this time, and we'll see what goes on with them. A lot of Blood Angel Death Companies and Sanguinary Guard, and we'll play again. So yeah, in the end, because I managed to get first blood and I was holding 2 objectives, I got 7 points, and Aron managed to get Slay the Warlord and 1 objective, so I gave him 4 points. So in the end, it was just a slim victory for me, but victory nonetheless for the Blood Angels. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I am having another couple of games this weekend against Liam and Ryan. Not sure whether these will be videos or, well, I say videos, whether they'll be picture based or whether they'll be video based on, because we're not sure how much time we'll have. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks.